Hey T Squad, it's me Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea All Shade Raising Kanan Season 3, Episode 9 review. I can't believe the season is already almost over. Next week will be the season finale episode, and then we'll be getting ready for BMF. And then after BMF, it'll be time for Power. Power Ghost. It'll be season 4, right? Yeah. But let's get into this week's episode of Raising Kanan, which was another good episode. The season finale episode next week look like it's going to be a banger, and I cannot wait. So I'm just going to go by each character and talk about what happened to them and my thoughts. So on this week's episode, Ronnie is still Ronnie, okay? The Latino drug lord put a stop to his hustle on behalf of Rock, and because his cousin Juliana was going behind his back working with Ronnie, so he put a stop to that, which pissed Ronnie off. So Ronnie went to Snap, Crackle, and Pop about it, and they was like, look, we saved your life, because if they wouldn't have came to us first about this, you would have been a slab on the concrete, okay? So they are all pissed because they got money in this as well that they gave Ronnie. Like Ronnie owed these people a lot of money, and so they need their money back. They need this product or whatever. And so now it is basically agreed upon that Rock is an unnecessary roadblock that needs to be taken care of. So they're going to take care of it. Okay. Now the question is, leading into the season finale episode, is Kanan going to be on board with this, considering that is his mother and his enemy? Is he willing to go that far to now take out his mama? You know, before he knew that Howard was his daddy, he almost took out his daddy. So I don't think on next week's episode that he's going to help them. I think that he's going to help up to a point, but I think in the end, they're all going to come together as a family to get over on Snap, Crackle, and Pop and Ronnie. And then another part of me is still wondering, is Neek deceased? Because we did not see him take a last breath. All we saw was him rolling down that hill. And then it makes me think back to Ronnie saying that he's on vacation, he'll be back, or whatever he said to, I forgot who he was talking to. But a part of me still feel like Neek ain't gone. You know, they tricked us with the Lauren situation, making us think that Lauren had passed. They did the whole RIP post that they do when a character is gone, but a part of me just don't believe that Neek is gone. I really don't think so. I think that he is still alive and well and kicking it. I just think that he is indisposed. I really do. And then it makes me wonder if Ronnie knows that he's alive, because remember he said to Juliana that he would never do anything to his brother, so then to see 5 minutes later in the episode him unalive his brother just really doesn't make sense to me. But I still am holding out hope that Neek is alive. But Ronnie is just doing team too much. Like, he basically choke slam Famous up against the wall for just coming over and asking his ex-bestie a question. And Kanan was like, dude, simmer down. You're doing too much. And then he asking him why he going to the mall to support Juke when they out of product. And he was like, I ain't got to tell you what I'm doing. Mind your business. Like, he getting on Kanan's nerve. But then a part of me still feels like, what if he's Breeze? I don't know. I don't know what to think or how to feel. I don't know. But in this week's episode, Marvin finds out that, I think his name was Joe. Is that the reporter's name? Was his name Joe? I don't know. The white man been working with the feds and giving them information on him. But he was like, I didn't have anything to really give because you don't tell me anything. And the only reason why he came clean about it is because he was using and left one of his daughters in the tub, and she ended up, and so he was, of course, erratic and just hysterical over the situation. And Marvin came to the hospital to check on him. But when he told Marvin what he did, Marvin, of course, was disgusted. Because, he actually looked at the white boy like a friend. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't want to have nothing to do with him after that. He was like, I might be going to prison for the rest of my life because of you. And like, are you satisfied with what you're doing? And you know, this season has been a really good season for Marvin and his character arc. He's really made a 360 change. He's more concise. He got his head in the game. He's been a great father, a great brother, to both of his siblings, you know, trying to help out the white guy and his family. Like, Marvin really stepped up to the plate this season with unaliving the Italian mob boss and everything. Like, dude just been on one, and I love Marvin this season. Love him, love him, love him. He has really stepped up to the plate. But I think because this season was so good for him going into season 4, it has to plateau. It has to plateau. He has to get down bad again. And I believe it's going to be because of this Fed case against that they're building against him. Hopefully he doesn't begin to use, they don't go that route again, especially since with Lou's character, they've already explored alcoholism. You know, that's what their father had and all of that. But I do believe at some point it's going to come out that Rock was the one that had him arrested back in the day. So she could be the one that take over. I really think that that's going to come out that she snaked her own brother and got him hemmed up and put in jail so she could be the boss. And I think that once he finds out that, he's going to see what Kanan and Lou see and feel about Rock. And that'll be the last piece of the puzzle that Rock loses as far as her family members go. She'll like have nothing and nobody because she's betrayed everybody that meant something to her outside of Jukebox. But then again, I think with Jukebox, what might be the thing that pushes Jukebox away from Rock is her finding out that she was the one that sent her mother away in the first place. I think that that might come out as well, that Rock sent her mama away. Because think about the fact that right before Juke mama passed, she went to Rock. She went to Rock. I really honestly believe that that's going to come out, that she sent old girl away and that she had Marvin locked up. Because if you notice, the only person that she really has a sweet relationship with is with Juke. Like, they have such a sweet, nurturing relationship, and she really relies and looks up to her aunt. So to find out that not only did you have my father taken away from me, but you had my mother taken away from me too when I was a little girl. You know what I'm saying? I think that's going to be like one of the last straws for Juke to further want to get away from them and change her last name going into the army. Juke in this week's episode, she finally has the performance at the mall, honey. They tore it down. They did such a good job. It reminded me so much of the 90s with the baseball jerseys, the baggy pants, the Jodeci boots, aka Doc Martens. Like, everything about it was so 90s. The mall performances that used to happen back then. Everybody was there for her except for Lou. He did not show up because, you know, he was out drinking and thanking child. But she did such a good job. She just knew that they was about to get a record deal. But lo and behold, who she thought were record execs were actually federal agents coming to talk to her about her father. And so she was utterly embarrassed. And she knew right then and there that any hopes and dreams that she had of being an artist were instantly taken away from her. And I felt so bad for Juke. So bad. But she held it down because the Fed agent that was questioning her didn't know what he was talking about. He had all the wrong information. So she really honestly didn't have anything to tell him because everything that he was trying to pin on Marvin was 100% incorrect. Because she knows what really happens, that it was Kanan that did this. But they end up letting her go. But yeah, the singing career is done for her. And I think that that's what's going to also push her to change her last name so she won't be associated with her family. When people meet her, they won't automatically think of her family. Also in this week's episode, Rock found, well, not found, but some of Juke's mail came to the house from the army, and she talks to Juke about it, and Juke was like, I don't know what I wanted to do. It was something I was thinking about. And basically Rock just tell her, I'm here for you no matter what decisions you make, no matter what. And I really love their relationship, but that relationship is about to tank. Okay, it is about to go downhill, but we're slowly but surely seeing all of the pieces of the puzzle that make Juke who we saw in the original Power, what made her so desensitized to human emotion, not trusting anybody, being cold-hearted and cold-blooded because of the way she came up and the people around her, lying to her, using her, manipulating her, and all of these different things. Rock in this week's episode is a woman on a mission. She got product that she got to get rid of. So far, right now, she's dealing with the Ronnie situation. She tells Kanan, you welcome home. But of course, he ain't trying to hear that. And she was like, you only going to be able to outrun the social worker. But for so long, they're going to send you to, a juvenile prison. And he was like, I can get rid of you too. And Marvin was like, who you talking to? Like, I will take off my belt, little girl. Like, who are you talking to? And Rock had a look on her face like, oh, you threatening me? You want it with me? Oh, really? This what we doing? But you can also kind of low-key see in her eye, I'm proud of you. I did that. But she seeing now that she has literally lost her grip on Kanan. But I still believe in the end on next week's episode, he's going to come through for his mama. That don't mean that he forgive her and want to be cool with her. But for right now, I think he's going to come through for his mama and save her. I don't think that next week's episode will be the end of Rock. I don't see that happening this season. I can see them getting rid of her character. If they ever do get rid of her character, maybe late season 4, season 5, but ow, shoot, my hand, ow, my neck, my desk. Anywho, but I pointed out to you guys, season 1 of Raising Kanan, that during season 1 of Power, when Kanan got out of jail, he said in a Pacific episode when he was at Ghost's house with Tommy and Tasha and all of them, he was like, all right, y'all, I'm gonna get up with y'all later. I'm about to go see my mother. He said that. Go back and look at the episode. He said, I'm gonna go back. He said, I'm gonna go and visit my mother. That could have meant one or two things. His mama was still alive, or he was going to visit her grave. So we don't know if Rock doesn't survive Raising Kanan or not. Okay. Who else? Howard, this episode is found out because Captain Burke goes to the current captain and tells him the information that he learned from Nicole's daddy. Juke's name is brought up, and then all of the pieces of the puzzle are put together for the current captain, and he realizes that Howard did not tell him everything, so they call Howard in. Howard has a good excuse for why he did what he did. He was like, dude, you told me it was too much heat on the NYPD. I'll try to fix the situation or whatever the case may be. But they do tell him that any relationship that you have with Marvin, it's going to come back on you. So you better be telling the truth that you ain't got no relationship to this guy. But of course he does. That's his son's uncle. And of course he's been helping them with police information behind the scenes. So Howard back is up against the wall at this point. I think what's going to end up happening with him is that he's going to end up dipping at some point, because he's pretty much guaranteed to go to jail at this point. You know what I'm saying? He has broke every single law that you can. The biggest one being unaliving his partner. And I'm pretty sure that that's going to come out in the season finale episode, that he unalived Burke. And that's going to give him free reign to be like, uh-oh, time to go. Famous in this week's episode tried to help rocking them by looking for Lou, because Lou was out here doing the most. And like I said, Ronnie hemmed him up, and it just further showed that him and Kanan's relationship is plateauing and has gone downhill. I still can see Famous getting unalived on next week's season finale episode, because in this week's episode, the white lady that owned the bar pitched his music to a music exec. So the music exec loved it, wants him and Lou to come and have a meeting and everything. So like everything that Famous has worked for, yearned for, dreamed for is finally there. But Luke is on a alcohol binge, can't find him anywhere. And then like I said, it'll be too much like right for him to get everything that he ever wanted and ride off into the sunset. I think that he's going to end up getting unalived, and I think that that is going to haunt Kanan because of the way that Kanan treated him up until his unaliving. And I think that that's why he ended up naming his first son, his only son, Sean, after Famous, because of how he did him and in memory of his best friend who he did dirty. And Kanan in this week's episode was just continuously being a brat, being an a-hole. But you have to give it to him because he has reason, because his mother is the pits. She's literally the devil. She is Lucifer in black leather. But like I said, he's forced at the end of the episode to meet with Snap, Crackle, and Pop and Ronnie to discuss getting rid of his mother. And then lastly, we have Lou. Lou in this episode was just, he has literally hit rock bottom. He did a hit and run on a car. He attempted to rob a liquor store. He got drunk in a bar, didn't pay his tab. He ended up getting hemmed up by the police because Rock went to Howard to ask him to recruit some people to find her brother. He found him for her, and Lou literally told him every unaliving drug deal that has happened. And Howard was looking at Rock like, you need to get your brother under control, because like he is going to take all of us down. Like, you got to deal with this immediately. So she literally is giving him a death glare when Marvin comes into the room where he's being held hostage, and he's like, Marvin, help me. She gonna unalive me. She gonna unalive me. Help me, help me, help me. She gonna unalive me. They take him, put him in the car, and they're driving on the highway. And at this point, he's like, y'all about to unalive me. Y'all gonna really unalive your brother? And he kept on saying, don't leave me out here by myself. Don't leave me out here by myself. I really didn't understand what that meant. Can somebody tell me why they had him continuously saying that over and over again, like he was afraid of the dark or something? I didn't really understand that part. But he just kept on begging and begging and begging Marvin to come to his rescue. Marvin then gave him a drink to help sedate him. And I feel like they were trying to make us think that they're going to unalive Lou. I don't see that happening. I think that they are taking him upstate to wherever their family is, where Rock took Kanan season 1. I think they're going to take him upstate to get clean, to get himself in order, and then come back once he's stable again. But he's gonna miss the meeting and all of that with the record execs, but I don't think they're gonna get rid of him at all. If anything, if they don't take him to get clean with the family members, then it might be Symphony. You know, that's her love of her life, and he'll do anything for her. But remember, there's still a lot of information on Rock's past that we don't know. Remember in the beginning of season 2, when they were up there with her family, and one of her cousins was bringing up something that happened to her in her past, and we never got to find out what that was. So I think that if he does go live with the family, that might be something that is brought out and explored going into season 4. But those are my predictions going into the season finale episode of Raising Kanan. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm excited about next week's episode. Let's talk about everything down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button, you guys. Before I go, Unaliving predictions. I still think that Famous is going to go. I'm up in the air about Ronnie. A part of me feels like he might, but then again, a part of me doesn't think that he might get unalived for the simple fact that he could be Breeze. I think that Snap, Crackle, and Pop are going to get unalived for sure. I think that scene that we saw in the trailer with the car pulling up on Rock with the Pow Pows, I think that they're going to hit up the car, but I don't think that she's going to get severely hurt. I think that's going to be early on in the episode, and they're not going to finish the job. And then later on in the episode, I think that's when everything is going to happen with Kanan saving his mama. I don't think that Lou will be unalived. I think that Juke will probably come to the rescue also and help with the family in some type of way. Anybody else? I think that Neek might make a surprise return in the season finale episode. That might be something that we see literally at like towards the end, like the last 2 minutes of the episode or something like that. But yeah, those are my full predictions for next week's episode. Like I said, make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button, you guys. I love you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.